I'm trying to call her. I know she had she had some emergency stuff going on today, so I don't
Okay.
know. I hope nothing happened with that.
We are live, I wanted to tell you too.
Oh, okay.
I accidentally hit live all of a sudden. Um, so I just wanted to share that with you. But
Okay.
I can go ahead when a few people get in here. I'll go ahead and explain about the moderation. Um, so if that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how many. There's two. Amanda's here and Esther's here. Hi guys.
Hi.
So we can give it a few.
Yeah.
Do you want to be in the camera, Bubba? Come here. Come on. Come here. Here. Come say hi to everybody. Come here.
Hi, Barbara.
This is my big boy. Huh?
Aw.
You want to be in the live? Huh? You want to be in the live, Bobo? All right. Yeah. Good boy.
Okay. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, everybody.
We've got 5 people so far.
Oh, now we got 51. Hey,
Whoops.
everybody. So before we start the podcast, I wanted to explain a little bit because I have 2 moderators on my channel, which are Amanda and Willie. And Rebecca has a moderator that is it's service dog.
Service dog Hosanna.
Yeah. And so when we do our podcast together, we do one on my channel one week and one on Rebecca's channel the next week. And Amanda moderates when we do a live over on Rebecca's channel for me. And so Service Dog will also be doing that on our channel. And I'm only explaining that because I know I've had a lot of people ask if they could moderate, and I'm really not looking for any more moderators at the time. And I appreciate all the offers, but I don't want anyone to think that, I've added another moderator. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, is what I'm trying to say. So, Rebecca, Service Dog knows Rebecca really well. She's been with her since the beginning. And you guys are actually really good friends as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she needs somebody to represent her when she's over here, as well as I think this vice versa. So I just wanted to clear that up so there's no confusion. And hopefully everything's okay with her as well.
Hello, Yulanka, and hello, Kondo, and hello, Annika.
Yep. Hey, Dennis. Linda. Yep.
It's a status symbol of prestige, he says.
Are you talking about the moderator one or because you're a member of the channel?
Yeah.
Or both, I guess. Both. Badge of honor. Hey, Heather. Welcome. Hey, Lisa. Oh, well, thank you. That's
I
sweet.
went there. Yes, the wrench symbol.
Winter's here. I didn't see her. They go up so quick that it's hard to keep up with. But I know Winter can't usually catch our lives on Thursdays, so I'm glad you could make it.
If you have questions and we're not answering them, it's because it's hard to do the show and watch the chat at the same time. And what we'll do is when we're done, the topics that we do, then just retype the questions and we'll answer those. I mean, you can ask them during the podcast and the moderator might answer, or we just might happen to see it go up through the chat and answer. But I just wanted to tell everybody they're not being ignored.
Right. And, hello to everyone. I don't see everyone's name, but absolutely hello to everyone. And thank you for being here.
I'm sorry. It's Condo and Redondo is hilarious. And it's it's hard to ignore.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So, but do you have your drink?
Yes.
I got me
everybody.
some
Jennifer,
whiskey.
Cheers. Jennifer sent me beer money. Because I didn't have any. I was drinking that green nitroglycerin nuclear Midori stuff.
Looked very nuclear to me, like something you'd see on, you know, um, yeah, at a power plant. uh, Also, I do want to put like Rebecca and I would just have a casual drink. If you or someone you love has problems with alcohol, we are not trying to offend. And always be responsible. And don't drink and drive
Yeah.
ever. Call me, I'll come get you. Oh, so this week we're going to go over scams and safety, and then I think we're going to take questions, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I got my piece of paper here
me
this
too.
time.
I don't want to show my chicken scratch writing, but um, I wanted to go over scams because a few months back, somebody messaged me on Instagram. There's several private, or not, there's groups on Facebook. They're pretending to be Buster. They actually named the group Buster the Cockatoo. And someone paid, I don't know who it is. The person just told me someone got scammed. They thought they were paying for buying Buster, and it was a scam. And I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I constantly preach not to wire money, not to, you have to see a bird in a live video at least. I mean, there are ways you can do it. I would never do it, but um, it does make me feel very, very badly that happens. Um, but at the same time, this is part of why we're doing these types of things to try to help point people in the right direction and avoid such things. So,
Right.
yeah.
So I guess, well, I think you were going to tell some stories. I have one about Jaden. Um, you were, you were going to bring up shipping and, Craigslist and
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
aware of those.
Craigslist even runs into safety, honestly, too. I think not only could you get scammed, you could be walking into a trap, you know. Um, so
That's happened plenty of times.
plenty. I mean, watch the news. Yeah. So the number one thing that on all the things that I read said to be patient. Just be patient. And I know people get anxious when they want a bird or a dog, but you have to be patient. That's the only way. Oh, there's service dog. Let's see if I can.
Hello. Hello, service dog Kazana. Basically, too, beware of any time a bird is being sold cheap because it is too good to be true most of the time. Sometimes it's because they really have an emergency and they need to rehome the bird. But
Hmm.
more than likely, there's something fishy about it. Maybe the bird was stolen and they really don't know what they have, so they're
Hmm.
not charging enough, or maybe they're trying to, get rid of the bird.
Yeah,
So beware of
that
that.
brings me to another point that I read about. Um, though they will say this bird is free, you just have to pay for shipping, right? And then they'll go to pick the bird up, and they'll say the bird isn't there. They'll call them and say you have to pay a customs fee to me, and so they'll pay for the shipping, they'll pay for the customs fee, which number one, you can't ship birds from overseas. That became illegal in the United States in 1992. So they'll ask them for customs money and they'll get them again. So that's another common scam that I actually wasn't aware of that one. I just guess I thought it was kind of common knowledge that birds can't be shipped from overseas. Um,
I saw a disgusting YouTube video that I wish I never came across. And it was unboxing a bird. You have these unboxing videos of products, unboxing a cockatoo, and somebody literally had a baby at that cockatoo shipped them in a plain box.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
almost threw up. I wish I had never come across that. but I guess it's good to know that it happens to
True.
tell
Yeah.
people.
Now I did ship Bo to us through UShip, which is a legitimate company that ships everything pretty much. But it's in the United States, and I call it the puppy train. I could not go to Ohio to get him, and I I found and experienced and um, they had lots of feedback, and they're guaranteed. You ship, if they tried to scam me or didn't show up with the dog, I got my money back.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I know a
So,
lot of shelters make trains, like
mhm,
for people to adopt, and people just
right.
volunteer and
Hmm.
train to make a chain of cars and, deliver
Yeah.
across
What this
America.
lady did, they would just pick up, they would pick up several pickups, and they would make their way from wherever and pick up several dogs, and that's how they made their money because it was not very expensive. It was cheaper than flying, so way cheaper, especially right now. I mean, I did tip her as well because that was very nice, but like he spent the night in a hotel with them and a couple other dogs, and yeah. So I mean, there are ways to do things like that safely. I guess if you are dead set on shipping a bird, I would probably try to go through a company like that, like Use Ship. That's something else that came up as well. Is there are credit cards companies that do cover scams, but most of the type of wire transfers that these people are asking for are ones that you can't get your money back. So that's another thing to really be aware of. Is that I read, but they recommend that you do a live video with them, seeing the person
Oh,
with that bird, not just like pictures. Oh, another thing that came up that was a great idea is copy and paste the posting and do a reverse on the post, what they've written in the post, and also do a Google reverse image. And a lot of times you're going to pick up on scams that way because they run these scams over and over and over again. So that's another thing. Like if someone had did a Google reverse on Buster, they would have probably figured out very quickly that that was a scam. So that's something to I keep scratching off after I um, find that, and always ask for a local. Locally, it's best to buy local, but get their names, their address, phone numbers. If they've sold before, make sure they have good reviews. Um, and also, I'd like to point out shelters and bird rescues are full. They
oh
are.
yeah,
They're mhm, and they're not going to scam you. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
And they'll do whatever they can to set
mhm,
you up and get you
yeah,
that animal.
yeah. They don't want you to fail, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I can't remember. I don't have a copy of your list, but what else
Oh,
might?
I was gonna say, kind of on the same topic is, for your bird safety, you might want to, if they don't have a leg band, you might want to get them microchipped like a dog
Mm,
or cat.
yeah,
Some of the bands, they're open, which, watch out for that because that means a lot of times they were imported
yeah.
illegally.
Prior to 1992. Yeah.
So if it's a solid band, I guess that would be enough for ID. I don't think you can get that off. Only a vet could get that off, right?
Hmm. I,
Okay.
I would think I know some people and suspect some people have done it on their own, but I wouldn't do it on my own. There are a few breeders I've read that still use open leg bands, but when it's if it's an open leg band from the FDA or Bird Wildlife, I don't exactly remember which organization through the government it is. It will have three letters and three numbers. So I actually had a wild caught bird, and I only had her a couple years because I didn't realize that and realize exactly not how old she was and how neurologically damaged she was.
Mhm.
But she had a good 2 years of her life, and was loved and cared for. So, but yeah, I know a little bit about that because of that. Bird Tricks actually has a really good um, blog on leg bands.
Okay.
It's a really informative. That's how I kind of figured out my situation with maybe. Yeah, but you're right. You're right, and I would think too. It's harder to prove your bird if somebody stole it without a leg band.
Yeah.
Although I think Buster would be okay because he'd just be screaming "Action Park" and "Mama."
Yeah. Yeah, and Ani would be bucking like a chicken. They think
Yeah,
maybe they got
la
the
la
wrong kind
la.
of bird.
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Another thing, two other things they said. Um, a lot of times the spelling and the grammar is really off when it's
Mm,
a scam. Of course, everybody would think I'm scamming them because I'm horrible at those two items. But and they'll also try to get you to click a link that's a clickbait, where you end up probably getting a virus as well on your whatever you're doing.
mm,
That's actually all I have on mine.
okay.
As far
Well,
as scams go, um,
um,
that's all I have.
I guess we can move into dangers, not just home dangers, but yeah, I was going to tell Jaden's story. Jaden is a Goffin cockatoo that my friend Jan has, and her apartment was broken into in broad daylight, and her bird stolen. Birds, especially when the economy gets a little bit rocky, birds are high on the theft menu, and they stole three of her birds. And she went on the news, and luckily the person saw it and panicked and went to the park and went to sell the bird for several $100s, which again, a scam. If somebody's selling a bird in a park, it's a little bit too good to be true. But they bought him, and but then they saw on the news that he was stolen, and they were lucky that those people were really nice and contacted Jan, and so she got her baby back. And I didn't know cockatoos had the ability to actually cry, but this cockatoo did for most of the day, and she videoed it, and it's really gross. Its eyes
Oh,
teared up, and she couldn't let go of it. It sat in her lap, and it just kept looking up at her and bobbing his head and crying. So,
yeah, be really sad.
she got her other one back, and the third one she never saw again, and there was really not much she could do to prevent it. All you can do is take precautions like you would for any homeowner would.
Hmm.
You might wanna think about, cameras, um, not just for theft or anything, but just to keep an eye on them, because little boogers get into everything.
Yeah, they're
And
the goats of escaping. Yeah, they
yeah,
escape. Yeah, yeah.
yes. So I know we have security cameras on the outside of the house, on the inside of the house. It's fun
Hmm.
to watch them anyway when
Yeah,
you're gone.
we do too.
And let's see, what else can you do? And that's pretty much it, other than look your bird over and really make sure that you know them inside and out, not just the band, or you know. I always pay attention to special markings, so that way, I'll be the only one that knows those special markings.
Yeah, yeah. And take pictures of that type of thing. Print
Oh,
them
yeah.
and keep them
Yeah.
in your lockbox or your whatever, your filing cabinet. Keep that information on you. Make sure it's dated, and things like that. So um, that's something that I know cockatoos are like pretty much look alike, but there are identifying things about all of them that I think you could, because some of them to me really have different eyes. I mean, some of them have
Mhm.
more of the white, thicker. Um,
Yeah.
I think like Buster's eyes don't look like, say, Penny the cockatoo's eyes. Hers look more like, I don't
Yeah.
know. how to explain it, but yeah, they look a little bit different. There's certain things in some of his feathers that I can tell, like, not all cockatoos have are like that. So I mean, Earl is easy to identify. He doesn't have a band, but he was born in the 80s. They weren't as popular back then. They did still do them, use them, but maybe when his leg broke, maybe that's how his leg got broken. Some idiot tried to take his band off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to list as like dangers around the house? What's the matter? Am I missing something? Kind of
God
cockatoos
no.
are all pretty much look alike. That is so not politically correct.
That's for another podcast show. Oh.
So, what dangers around the home can you think of?
Well, I know I get people get after me a lot about the ceiling fans, and in that situation, I say, "Do as I say, not as I do." You shouldn't have ceiling fans on, and I don't ever have them on around Percy. But Buster and Earl cannot fly up, um, so it's hotter than you know what down here in the South,
Yeah.
and we keep our air conditioner on like 10 to 15 degrees higher or below what it is outside because my husband is always so concerned our air conditioner will freeze up. He grew up in Central Florida with no air conditioning, and he hates
Well,
the thought of being like miserable like that. It wouldn't be good for the birds either because they're used to being cushy. So yeah, we really don't have a choice. However, I am saving. I have a lot of other things that are on my priority, but in my list of things I'm saving for are the ceiling fans with the covers of the
oh,
so
yeah.
the fan is inside a metal. But most of the ones that I have seen, the top is still undone, and that would
Hmm.
concern me more for a little bird getting up in there.
Yeah.
Ken, I'm live.
Hi, hi, whoever it is. Woo!
He must have heard me and went back out. He must have. Oh, okay. Um, but anyway, that would concern me a little bit more, even for small birds. That would really be a chopperoo situation,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that's a big one.
I wonder if your air went out and like in the South and here we are in the triple digits, what do you do to keep your bird? What do you do in an emergency like that?
Yeah,
Would
I'd like
you
to
know?
do. I would like to do a topic on that. I think that would be good. Like, what ifs type of scenarios, emergency type of what ifs. I mean, we get hurricanes here. By the time it would get to us, it would be a tropical storm. But we get tornadoes, and we have disasters here. And um, I mean, we're in the winter. If your power goes out because of cold, because I think it's easier to deal with heat than the cold when it comes to birds.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I know what to do if it gets too cold. You have a
Mhm,
as soon as the power goes out, you put a thick quilt on top of the
mhm,
cage to help
mhm,
keep the heat in.
and
So
make
I mean,
sure,
I,
though,
I
that you
know
leave a
that.
little pocket for air.
Okay.
Make sure
Yeah.
you do leave a little pocket for air. There's a lot of controversy about covering birds. I've always covered my birds, but I do leave a little spot where I know they're getting air. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that would be a good topic to go over. Like Winter just mentioned, it's good to have a generator. Um,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, for
I
things
know
like
they have portable air conditioners. Our air conditioner went down one year and everybody's was down. It was a extremely hot summer and we couldn't get a guy to come out and fix it, an AC guy. So
hmm
we ran to Home Depot and got a an emergency air conditioner that's portable. It's really cool. And you plug it in and it's portable. And that's
they
what we use for air conditioning.
they have neat little ones that you can kind of make out of fans too. There's some like little neat ideas of you take a fan and a cooler and something. There's all over YouTube. just for things like that if your air's out, which we have a couple window units in our home as well. So I guess we could congregate in those 2 rooms. But, if your power goes out, you don't have anything. I would probably put mine outside so that I could hose them off quite a bit if it's
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good
'cause,
idea.
we've discovered this week that Earl loves to be in the aviary, and he's much happier out there. And so I go out, it's hot, so I go out every 10, 15 minutes and I water him down, cool him off a little bit, and then he drinks a little bit of the water as well.
I just got a message from um, Hondo and Redondo that about Teflon pots and
Yeah,
pan. I know that's a thing with you.
yeah, yeah. Um, well, I recently saw a TikTok that people were sending it to me. Oh, Jen, do you know this? And which I really just thought Teflon was, I just thought it was common knowledge. I mean, one of our first bird, the lady told us about that, which we had read about it anyway. But you do have to even be careful about some of your stainless steel pans. There's something they put in them now, and I can't remember the
Really?
yeah, because my kids had bought us a really nice cookware set for Christmas one year. My daughter's like, "Don't worry, mom. I looked it up. I made sure it's completely fine." Teflon
And
is a huge one. Air fryers too. They
I
don't.
didn't know that was in air fryers. Here we had an got spent all this money on an air fryer, and thank gosh somebody caught it online and told me. So bye bye air fryer.
Well, I don't know that it has Teflon. I think it's more. I don't even
Depends.
like. I won't even put my oven on five. What is that? The highest it goes is it 550?
Yes.
I won't even do that with the birds in the house because
Yeah.
it's not just the Teflon. Sometimes it's the heat. The heat has to be warmed up to a certain temperature, even with the Teflon,
Yeah.
for it to kill them. Um, so it's not even just that. I think the air fryer just gets too hot and puts off an odor from the heat.
Well,
So
it
I don't think.
depends. Some of them do have Teflon in them,
Mhm,
and
I
some of
know.
them are all stainless steel.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it depends.
We have
Also
one, but we
griddles.
use it outside. We only use it outside.
We
Yeah.
had we had a griddle that I didn't know. It had a nonstick surface, and I just never put two and two together. And so our dumb cells were using it, and I guess we lucked out because nothing ever happened, and we found out about it and threw it away. And I think why nothing happened is because it was really old from someone else, and a lot of it was like gone.
Oh,
So,
really? Yeah, yeah.
but we lucked out with that. But I didn't
Mhm.
know a griddle. I didn't even think about. Excuse
Yeah.
me, I didn't even think about that.
I'm careful too when Ken uses like charcoal grill. We don't charcoal grill hardly ever, but we do have a smoker and we try to be very careful about that as well. It's outside obviously,
Yeah.
but we try to make sure that it's blowing in a different direction of the house and because we open the door and come in and out. But other ones are candles, scented scented things, essential oils especially. There's
Um,
essential oils that would kill them at like diffusing them instantly. I have a diffuser in my room, but I run it just for the humidity for my plants. So if anybody ever sees my little essential oil diffuser, it doesn't have oils in it, it's just water because I'm a crazy plant lady too. Um, but spray in cleaners, household cleaners.
mhm.
Yeah. I make my own
Um,
vinegar to clean with. I put lemons or citrus in it, let it soak for a while, and that's how I use that for the bird room.
it's hard. I miss having the candle melters, but they release something in the air, and
Yeah.
air fresheners that you can put in the sockets or whatever, or
Mhm.
have around. I miss that stuff so bad. It's not funny.
And I have 5 dogs. So I just, if it rains or whatever, I just feel like my house smells like a stinky wet dog all the
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
real
imagine.
paranoid about it. But yeah.
So anything that's chemicals, anything with vapors, if you can smell it, beware. You know that's
Mhm.
possibly Not a good thing to have around birds. Um, I wouldn't trust, like, there's some insecticides that say no vapors or whatever. I
Mhm.
don't know if I'd trust that. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't do sprays around the house at all.
Mhm.
Oh, paint. We had to paint Annie's room. We did the sunshine room, and I was worried to death about the paint vapors. And I found out that there's what you call low-voc and
Mhm.
no-voc paints, which means low vapors and zero vapors. I still didn't trust the zero vapors. And what we did is we hung a blanket across the doorway and kept the door closed while we painted the window open, the fan going, and we moved Ani downstairs.
Mhm.
So, because I was just scared. But if you need to paint something, there's
Yeah.
something called zero Voc paint, and that's what you should get.
I know a lot of people repaint their bird cages because over time that coating will come off. Buster's is already starting to, and there's certain paints you have to use, and I don't know which ones, but there is a certain paint that you have to use for those as well.
Scott wants a stainless steel cage so bad he can taste it, but
Hmm.
they're extraordinarily expensive.
Yeah, yeah, you don't find them very often either. Um,
Yeah. I guess let's see. Other dangers would be plants. There's some plants that are poisonous.
yeah, I have
Um,
lots of plants. My birds don't even mess with them, and they're not really in the general area. They're not in their room or anything. But I would like to grow some bamboo around Buster's cage. I think that would be cool because
oh
bamboo
yeah.
is good for them. Yeah, outside, yeah, I guess they can chew on it and stuff too. So,
Um, to prevent problems, of course, we all need smoke alarms, but
mhm.
there's alarms that connect. They're like smart alarms that connect, like Google Nest or whatever. And what that does is if something happens in your house, you're alerted on your phone right away.
Yeah,
So if there's smoke, a fire, burglary, if there's carbon monoxide, the
yeah,
alert
I was
goes
going to
off
mention
on your
carbon.
phone no matter where
Right.
you are.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know I have Alexa, and supposedly on the show, um, they can detect fire, and will alert you that you have a fire in your home. Which we have smoke alarms. Remember to change your batteries twice a year too on that. Both
Yeah.
on the time changes, yeah. Um, but yeah, that's true as well. Um, I'm
Let's
trying to
see.
think.
I can't trying to think of other things.
Smoking. I think smoking
Oh, yeah, duh. Vaping,
is
vaping.
vaping. I don't care if it's whatever. I I don't think it's good, but smoking cigarettes especially,
Yeah.
cigars, other things that my neighbors tend to do on the one side.
Condo says electric eels are dangerous to parrots. I didn't know.
Oh, that's true, Kay. An aquarium. If it's so, yeah. So birds can
Yeah,
drown.
I was gonna say that. I have that written
Yeah,
down. I forgot about that. A lot of
yeah.
Aquarius
Toilets. Yeah,
toilets. I had that
that's
written
right. You
down. I
did have
didn't
that
see it.
written down. Hmm.
I used to have signs on mine when I had little birds that, "Are you okay?"
His condo's cracking me up. He writes in caps too, so I can see it. Hmm. That's it. I'm making Buster a little pretend cigarette. Coming soon.
Yeah, we made signs that went on the underneath the lid of the toilet that said had a picture of the lid up and a cross, and it said birds or whatever,
Yeah.
because little birds are so apt to get in there,
Yep. Hmm.
especially. But aquariums, yeah, big thing a lot of aquariums do is they like to have an open top.
Hmm.
So there's no lid. They like to do that. And then sometimes they have plants that grow from bottom up and out of the
Yep.
water, is why they do that.
And the
So,
majority of them are poisonous plants too. The
oh,
majority of those would be, yeah, would be poisonous. So yeah, the open
I'm
tops
sure
are not
people are commenting that there's other things that they're thinking of. Electric eels being one of them.
electric. What?
Eels being
Oh,
one of the dangers that we forgot.
yeah. Well, electrical cords in general. Now they have changed something in the cell phone cords where they can't electrocute you anymore, I was told.
Oh,
Um, but yeah,
they
um,
have these things at Home Depot that cover electric wires that they're like plastic sheaths. And so and they you can even put them against the wall.
I'm looking that up right now so that I don't forget.
Yeah, one of them worked too good. We have an electric wire that's in a it's like a half moon sheath. That's glued to the wall. And when we were done using it, we went to take it off and it pulled some of the drywall off. That was good times.
Oh yes, winter foods. Never let your cockatoo touch an onion shell. You'll break the internet. Or tomato. That's
What's
yeah,
some
but
of the
there are a lot of
what's it? Avocados, onions, I guess
avocados.
garlic.
Mhm.
What else? I know we're missing something.
Onion, uncooked tomatoes. I guess McCall's can't have tomatoes at all, but cooked tomatoes are fine for cockatoos. Um,
Okay.
I don't have to worry with Earl because he doesn't. I mean, he'll eat a bite of egg here and there. He ate some grits a couple weeks ago. I couldn't believe it when he walked up and actually took a bite out of the grits. Um, but yeah, I don't know about uncooked potatoes. I know a lot of animals can't have like uncooked potatoes. It's not something Buster would ever be interested in anyway.
I have
Uh,
to watch our cockatiel Sonny. He'll eat anything. So
yeah.
he's good about having a varied diet, but we have to be careful around him because of it.
See, Percy will so far only eat eggs, cheese, and like a little nibble of bread. That's it. He won't eat any fruit whatsoever. I've tried like dipping it in his, the little itty bitty seed. Tried
Yeah.
dipping in that, thinking, and he won't self bathe. And I've tried some of the tricks they've recommended with that, and I can't get him to do it. So yeah, but yeah, food that's a good one to.
Kay says
I'm not going to fall
chocolate.
for
We
that.
missed
M.
a big one. Chocolate,
Chocolate is yeah. I'm not falling for that one. M. Ha ha.
coffee,
Coffee.
um, tea,
Is it really
black
the
tea.
coffee, or is it like if you have sugar or sweetener in it?
I think it's actual caffeine is one of the
Mm,
big things. And I know
okay.
tea has diethylene or something like that in it that makes your heart race. So black
No,
tea
I
wouldn't
use
be good.
herbal teas. I do
Yeah,
use a lot of herbal teas that are
they're
completely
good for them.
good for him. I had Earl on lemon balm, dried lemon balm, for his pain because it's a good natural pain reliever. And I'm telling you, I saw a difference within 24 hours of that. And
Wow.
Buster does like to drink him a good cup of chamomile tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will drink that.
So
Um,
does Bonnie.
and I guess medications if you leave because I mean a cockatoo could chew right through that.
Yeah.
Um, and I do see a lot of people that give their cockatoos or big beak birds the empty pill containers, but I
Uh-huh.
would recommend that you wash those things first. Uh,
Yeah.
you never know.
Let's
So
see what is
Annika is a
everybody saying.
comedian and Kondo's a comedian. So I'm not seeing what's transpiring between the
I
two.
know all I can see is you're
Yeah,
cracking me up.
but I guarantee you it's like a Saturday Night Live skit because both of them are hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Annika's talking about candy cigarettes. Oh my gosh, too much. Okay, you guys have any questions?
Oh, we were going to go over just one
What?
other thing. One we
Oh,
if internet safety.
yeah, do it.
Um, well, I think it more leads into like your experience, but I get a little leery when there's someone I don't recognize new and asking like where I'm at or personal information and things like that. Um, but I know if you don't mind me drum rolling this out, that someone actually showed up at your home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was lucky that they meant well, and I was caught so off guard and so shell shocked that I let them in and we had a cup of tea. They showed up with they showed up with this big, painting of Bonnie that they did, big art piece, and they wanted to give it to us in person. So, but it freaked me out, somebody showing, that wasn't a nice to do, but
Mhm.
I felt bad because they did all the work with the painting, and I invited them in, and we had a cup of tea, and thinking about it, that was just really stupid to do, and just because it's a woman doesn't mean they won't slice your stomach out and take your
Yeah.
baby, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. I promise you, um, I I've had a traumatic life. Nobody's come to my house, and I've got dogs that will make sure of it.
Yeah, when we had German Shepherds, I slept well.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, when you told me that story, I thought, Elizabeth. Remember from, oh my gosh, Sanford and Son. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I about a stroke. Um, yeah, that's always a concern of mine. I mean, I have a PO box, but I even someone is always with me at the PO box as well.
Oh, that's a
Um,
good idea.
yeah, I don't go alone. So, um, uh, and I don't go every day. I don't go very often. Um,
So
so
there's no schedule
yeah,
to
no,
follow you.
no. The biggest schedule I have is with the birds. My I keep my birds on a tight schedule, but other than that, life is just life. I mean, Buster's running the show here, so yeah. But be careful of strangers asking for information. And there, like you mentioned earlier, bird theft is on the rise. Um, so now I don't remember. It's kind of backing up a little bit, but I don't remember um, Smokey. He's an African gray, and I
Okay.
don't know if he was stolen or if he just disappeared or he got out. But I checked his page today, and he hasn't posted in a year, and he's never been found. But again, I don't remember if he was stolen or what. There's been several popular birds that have been stolen, and I think most of them ended up recovered. But it is a huge problem. So
Yeah,
honestly,
if you can get on the news if it happens to you, that's really big. That helps. Flyers up at every shelter, every pet store, every vet,
mhm.
you know.
um, so I mean, it's a scary thing. Honestly, I mean, Buster, it would be sad because he won't even eat or drink right when Ken's not here. I mean, he just won't. He's totally broken when Ken's not around. Oh, Leonie asked what grits are. Grits are like they're made of out of hominy. I think aren't you from Australia, Leonie? Maybe. But they're ground up hominy, which is a form of corn, and they're absolutely delicious with cheese in them.
They're white. And how big would you say the grains are?
Well, they grind them up. Um,
Okay.
but hominy to me, it doesn't resemble corn to me. It resembles barley, in my opinion. But Leonie, if you look up hominy, I think it's HOMINY.
Hmm.
I'm horrible. Uh, that's what grits are made of. They're ground up. They grind them and they grind them up real fine. They're more white. Um, I think
Yeah,
there
they're
might be
white.
some yellow grits that are probably cornmeal or corn based. I don't know. But my husband's grits taste better than Cracker Barrels. I'm just saying, they smack. They're
The
good.
more butter, the better. Butter,
Yes.
salt, and pepper. I've never done it, but I've had people tell me they've also eaten it the other way where it's sweet, where they
Hmm.
put sugar on him. So I've never done that, but
I had never had grits, even though I lived in Ohio, but don't let that fool you. I lived on the line of Eastern Kentucky and near Parkersburg, West Virginia. So everybody there was mostly West Virginia transplants that worked at the coal mines, but we never had grits. It wasn't a thing. But we had oatmeal, and I ate my oatmeal sweet growing up. And when I met my husband, he was like, "You put sugar in your oats?" He just thought that was the strangest thing. I've never had sweet grits, but I like them the way my husband makes them, and he puts cheese in it, so it's really good. Yeah.
Shrimp and grits. Yeah, that'd probably be
Yeah.
good.
I had that for my birthday one year, but, I can't hardly eat any kind of shrimp now. Something happened with my taste, and they the way they process certain shrimp now, if it's came from Vietnam, they wash them in iodine, and you can taste it, and it's disgusting. So I only get shrimp from, like, a certain place, and it has to be raw. But I love shrimp and grits. Yeah. Gonna get on the Forrest Gump train here.
Yeah, or my cousin Vinny.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Um, but
Okay,
you
any
wanna
questions?
questions and even, suggestions for what you want us to do next week over on Rebecca's channel. Oh, I love him, Joanne. Joanne, I saw your comment earlier about my husband. He's gonna pop in at the end of the live tomorrow. So, he's doing a staycation. I guess it should be called a workcation because he's worked around the house all week. We both kind of have. Um, but he said he'd pop in at the end. He's not real crazy um, about doing the lives. He don't like being asked a bunch of questions.
Bird
He
theft
reserves
is
that for
on the
Buster.
rise. Bird theft is on the rise because inflation. What used to be a $2,000 bird is now $4,000 and $5,000. So that's one of the reasons why people are stealing them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, uh, Amanda said service dog mentioned carpets can be dangerous to him because of some fumes or something.
Oh, brand new carpets. She's right.
Oh, okay.
Brand new rugs can be. I've heard that.
Is
I'm
there
not
maybe
100%.
is it maybe like the glue they put underneath it?
I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure
Yeah,
that it's
I don't
true,
know. That one
but
that's one I don't know. I'll have to get into that, which I don't have any carpet. I mean, I do have some rugs, but I don't have any carpet. So,
I've heard it's from other people that it can be an issue.
mhm. Yeah. Oh, see you tomorrow, Joanne. Thanks for being here. Oh,
Yeah, carpet is
yeah.
made from plastics, right?
Mhm. True. Oh, the fumes. Well, I know they've changed, how they dye certain things. So I had bought some little, I don't know what you call them. They're square little boxes that you can put them in these cubes, the little cubes. And I bought some at the dollar quarter store, and they stunk. I mean, they absolute scrub daddies are safe. Yes, condo. Yeah. Um, Buster chews around on plastics and stuff, but he doesn't swallow it. But he also has, bricks and everything like that. Um, but but yeah. Anyway, they stunk so badly, and it was my daughter had told me she had bought a pair. It's specifically in the black dye, and they're processing it in China. Do you want me to do my China impersonation? And anyway, it really does smell awful. She said she had bought a pair of jeans, and she said it took her like 5 or 6 times to wash the scent out of. I
Wow.
don't know what it's made of or what they're doing, but they are changing what the chemicals they're using in dyes. So that's probably something in the future we're going to have to be looking out for as well.
Thank you, Joanne, for the congrats about the Ani plushes getting to be 100.
Yes.
So that was almost unexpected. It was looking really dismal for a while.
What the what the what? I'm not sure which sentence I ended. Do I ever even end a sentence really? Oh, yeah. I'm not sure what he means. You have to text me later, Condo, and explain.
Is candy really bad for birds, or is it just not a good thing?
Well, I think sugar is generally bad. I don't know that sugar will kill them. Like, I mean, long term, I guess it's, but um, Buster has found his way to a piece of like cake here and there, not chocolate,
Yeah.
but he jumped into a birthday cake once during a party. That's why he mostly has to be kenneled now when we have parties. And he got blue and green icing all over himself. And when we tried to wash it off, it changed the color of the icing and it looked like he had poop all over him. He looked like a bird had pooped all over him for like weeks. It was terrible. I had to keep explaining that over and over and over again. So,
My kind of bird.
yeah, Buster likes to party. Yeah, if he knew I was in here having liquor, he'd have a fit. I have a video of him where he says, after I found the liquor,
Oh my gosh.
he had to ask for directions. It's my intro video that I have. It's pretty funny. And he talks pretty clear in that one. It's not like where you're like, is that what he really said? It's very, very clear in that one.
I'm looking to see if there's more questions.
Yeah, anybody if you have questions, pop them out there. And topics that you'd like us to talk about. Buster's got to learn to wear a harness. He will ride in a carrier, but I don't really have a very good carrier. I did buy like a nicer metal one. Actually, that's Earl's napping cage pretty much now, but it's really clunky. And so I am looking for one like Rebecca has. They're very expensive and you do have to be careful with them too, like you mentioned, because they're clear and they can get hot. I want one with the door on the front to be metal.
Yeah.
Um, when I get one of those, we can take him more places. And now I would like to get that and then like maybe put it in a baby stroller and take him to the park. But um, he doesn't like the idea of like a bunch of people approaching him, and he also worries about dogs. The one park we walk out, there are a lot of dogs on retractable leashes. I'm very anti retractable leashes. Got to be honest.
So is
Um,
service dog Kansana.
yeah.
She's a dog trainer, so.
hmm Most
Mhm.
dog trainers will not allow retractable leashes at all.
Mm,
I don't consider myself a dog trainer, but I do work with my dogs. I've taught, my two of my dogs to walk on leash, and I walk them the way they're supposed to be walked. And there will be people at the park that just let their dog come run up to my dogs, and it just makes them, nervous. Oh, Winter Garden asked what fruits would be dangerous to
yes.
birds. Uh, I know, aren't cherry pits bad?
I know apple seeds are, so apple cores
Well,
keep them
apple
away.
seeds have a little bit of arsenic in them.
I'm
Yeah.
sure cherry pits would not be good.
I wouldn't think that any pit would be good for them, of
And
anything.
tomatoes that you brought up earlier, that's considered a fruit.
Yeah, that's
But
true. That's true. Yeah.
I don't know if they're okay for everybody or
Avocado
not.
is very, very poisonous too, and chocolate. Um, it's more dark chocolate, but you don't want to give them any kind of chocolate. Chocolate also has caffeine in it, so that goes back to the caffeine issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Yes, avocado.
yeah, but yeah, I do wish Condo that we could take Buster more places, especially because hello from Sweden. Hello, welcome. Especially because pretty much when he goes somewhere, it's just to go to the vet. And so, like, my dogs are the same way. They never really go anywhere unless they're going to the vet, so they don't like the car. And so I try to take Bo on trips now, and just so he knows, like, the car is not something bad. But my other dogs are so nervous. We moved 500 miles away, and that trip was very traumatic for them. So they don't like the car. So I'm trying very hard to get Bo to like the car. Earl likes the car. He'll ride in his travel bag. I've taken Earl to Goodwill, and I want to ask the dollar quarter store if I can take him there. But Earl does have a screeching problem, and I'm afraid we'll get kicked out. But one of the employees at Goodwill, like, she about flipped herself when she realized it was a bird. She's like, "Can I please see him?"
Oh,
But he did screech a couple times in there, and so we had to leave. But yeah,
are most cockatoos like Buster, super attached to one person? Yes.
yes, they're called the Velcro bird of parrots. Um, Now, in the beginning, he did like all of us. He still likes all of us, but he is extremely attached to my husband as well as Ani is to yours.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah. I think it's very, very common that they attach to more. I think when they're younger, they might be a little better. I don't know that. I mean, you would know more on that.
They are. They
Mm,
go to everybody,
mhm,
and you can all you can do is try to keep them real, very well socialized, and try
mhm,
to have it so everybody in the house spends equal time with them. And it
mhm,
worked for one cockatoo, and she was everybody's bird, but it
mhm,
didn't work for Ani. And from what I understand, Ani is more the common outcome is
mhm.
they just want that one person.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Annika asked how old Ani is.
Oh, he's 9 years old. How old is Buster?
I don't know. I know he's an adult male just because of behaviors. The person told me he was a certain age, but there was so many other things that don't add up. So that's another
No.
thing. A lot of times when you get a used bird or a rescue bird or whatever, you're not going to have a lot of information or truthful information. At some point, I will go over that a lot more with Earl. Out of respect for the person right now, I won't do it. But I was flat out lied to about Earl. I would have taken him anyway, is the thing. I would have he was in horrific condition when I got him. He was greasy. He looked like somebody had rubbed Crisco all over him. And I would have taken him anyway. Um, but you're gonna be most of the time you're gonna be lied to when you take in a rescue bird. Yeah.
Action Park.
Yeah. Amanda said service dog was asking you to tell about the story about the cat.
I know, she keeps asking me to tell the story about the cat, but it's one of those things. I think it's funnier if you were here. Cockatoos are so weird. He was in the house when all of a sudden he started screaming and screaming, and he flew to the window, and he's hopping back and forth screaming. And I'm looking out and I'm looking for a hawk. I'm looking for something really dangerous. I can't find anything. I can't find anything. And then there it is. It was a cat just grooming itself across the street. That cat didn't belong there. So does Buster ever does he scream at things outside?
So sometimes he used to talk to the mail lady a lot or bark at her, but we had a situation a few weeks ago where um, he got out of his cage and he wouldn't come out of his room, and he was screaming when we went. Like when we would be out of his sight, he would like make this and he was getting louder and louder. And then when he could visualize you, he would stop it, and it was clear that he was afraid of something. And he is phobic. All birds are phobic of something. He's scared of woven baskets, and you know he doesn't like step up sticks, and um, so I don't know what was going on. And Ken literally had to go in there, and I say pill, but I promise it was not bat. Had to. remove him from the cage, even like move his little feet off the cage and carry him to the kitchen. And then he didn't want to go back into the room. So I was like, Ken, go look around. Something in there. I was scared, like, did a snake get in or
Yeah.
but behind his cage, because, I move that cage like once a week to get behind it to clean. He had put a big, huge hole in the wall, and there was an electrical outlet that runs through there. So Ken had to literally buy this stuff that's like cement to cover that area, and then we're gonna do something else with that later to ensure it. We were joking that he saw a ghost. I even asked him that because I can't remember what he commented back, but he said something really funny. Or I asked him if Albert was a ghost, and he was shaking his head yes, I think. Um, but and then so the area that well, not this area, but our room on over into Buster's room used to be a garage, and they made it into part of the house before we bought it. So there's like in the ceiling, there's a little vent that it's of no use, and the vent is gone off of it. But Ken says there's no way anything could get in there. But I made him cover it up just in case because he was clearly very frightened. And after Ken fixed those two things, he quit doing it.
I
So there
swear
was
Ani sees ghosts.
yeah, that's what a lot of people were
I
saying.
mean, he'll just sit there and all of a sudden, just one eye
Mhm.
up, and I jump and look, who's behind me. There's nobody,
Yeah.
and this happens all the time. And I'm
Mhm.
just like looking in the air, you know. And then I get a little mad and irate. Ani, stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's freaking
Winter,
me
we
out.
never
Quit it.
did figure it out. All I know is once Ken covered it, it was done, and it wasn't raining. No, there was no storms. Um, it was a regular day. It was a regular morning. There was nothing out of sorts. And after Ken went in there and fixed it, look, he wouldn't even go in there while Ken was working. So that tells you guys something because you guys know he's like Mr. I'm dad's supervisor or worker bee. And yeah, after he fixed it, he went right back in there like nothing had ever happened. He did see a hawk one time when he was in his aviary, and he threw like a absolute what I call, a cockatoo tantrum, got down at the bottom of the cage and where he was ready to fight, for his life. But the hawk can't get into his aviary, but he saw it and it scared him very much. So, yeah.
Ani knows the difference between hawks and what I call friends, other
Hmm.
birds. Um, like oh, what are those birds that eat carcasses? What are those again?
Oh, vultures.
Vultures. He can
Hmm.
tell the difference between a vulture in the sky and a hawk in the sky.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he freaks out with the hawks, and
Yeah.
that's why that day with the cat, I was just looking all over for something so dangerous, and that poor kitty, all it's doing is licking its leg.
Yeah. Yeah, that is funny. Yeah, but I'm sure just like most animals, they have that sense of danger, you know.
Yeah.
So, um I had somebody tell me like to be careful of chickens that a rooster pecks some cockatoo's eyes out or something. Which
Sorry.
I don't take Buster into uh the coop. We just stay outside and he talks to him. They're very interested in him. They like him. And I do know that I told this story before. There was a local person with a cockatoo that got away, and they found it in a couple miles away. I think in a coop. It was it was in their little coop area, and he was perched up with the coop with the chickens. Um,
When Joanne just asked if Ani is scared of squirrels. Um, he's more mad at him. I don't know what it is with squirrels. They're like his nemesis. He sees a squirrel and he just goes to town, rants and everything. He doesn't like them, and I don't know why or what the story is with that.
that's
Only
fun.
only he knows what goes on in that little pea brain of his.
Yeah, yeah. I was getting ready to tell her, Amanda, because I just saw your text. I don't know that Buster's bothered by him. Because they're out and about in our yard, when he's outside. Um, so I don't really know. I problem we have with Buster is he loves dogs, and he thinks that all dogs love him. And like, our neighbor have a German Shepherd that she doesn't like small dogs, so I would assume she wouldn't like Buster. um, and if Buster sees her, he just wants to go over there. Buster also likes to meet new people. He loves, when you first meet Buster, he loves you. And it takes a while for him to turn on you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Uh,
Yeah, it's hard
yeah,
to,
yeah,
to talk back and forth and frame yourself and everything and concentrate on what the other person is saying. It's too hard to do that and
yeah.
read at the same time that you
This is a
talk.
writing pen to try to give reference. We see about that much of the chat. And just
Yeah.
say the chat is that big, we see about that. That's all, and they go very quickly, and we can't really scroll down. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, 11 Eastern Standard Time. So, um, oh yeah, he loves new people. Yeah, he
Oh, does
does.
he really? You ever notice that he prefers or does not like certain people?
So I had there's a guy running for sheriff that came by to talk to me, and he loves animals. He's got a bird, and he asked if he could meet them. And I had put Buster in the room just to be careful because Ken wasn't here, and and he wasn't a stranger. I know who he is. um, and Buster went like that fluff and doing that.
Yeah.
He, but I don't worry. My dogs loved him, so I don't worry when a bird doesn't like someone. I worry when a dog doesn't like someone because birds are just they like who they like. They bond with who
What
they
I
bond with.
found. We
But
found
he
no
did.
rhyme and reason if Bonnie will or won't go to somebody. No rhyme or reason at all. And there's
Hmm.
people that, everybody sits there and says, well, he must know something. And no, no, there's some people that I would question holding him. And he's like
Hmm.
right to them. And then there's people that are bird people that he shies away from. We just
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe because the guy had experience with birds or so, I don't know, but he did not like him. Because he was like really wanted to see him, and I'm like, no, he is not coming out of there. I'm just telling you. You don't have like Hannibal Lecter protection over your face. He's not coming out. Yeah. And I don't know if I have that covered on my home insurance. I'm just kidding. But he does like young, pretty girls. Like, I have a video of him when I told him somebody's girlfriend was coming over, and he says, I'll check her out. He does like young, pretty girls, but he doesn't meet a stranger, and he loves kids. He just can't be trusted around kids. He would never mean to hurt a kid, but he might, because of he gets overly excited, you know. So, um, getting a troll, huh? Oh, we're in this short feed. Oh, we can't get off here right now. There's like 300 people here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just
All right.
joking, but yeah, you like that makes you a creep.
Yeah. Yeah, condo.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I guess with Buster it's different, but yeah, he absolutely loves strength. Like we had our deep freezer delivered from Lowe's, and you should have seen him. I mean, he was just going crazy because he wanted to be out here with those two guys. He loves to meet people. It would be nice if he would wear a harness so we could do more things like that, or if he was better with me because I would do things like that with him.
Annika, you don't happen to be the same Annika that owns Dominic and Alex the Hunking Cockatiel, are you?
No, she's not.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. And where's Service Dog Kazana? I haven't seen you in a little while. Since I told the cat story, I must have told it really bad.
Oh, I thought it sounds like it's raining outside. I was
I
just
can
looking.
hear it. But
Yeah,
now it's gone. Wait.
yeah, I'm not sure, but um, Buster has bitten family members, and sometimes birds bite because they lose their balance, but their beak is so strong that it will cut you. Um, but if he gets overly, all birds, if they get overly stimulated, they will bite. If you guys watch the videos, I'll always say when Buster's getting too much, I'll tell him, okay, Buster, we have to have a chill out session soon, and we have to make him sit and be calm. Now, we do encourage him, though, to at least have like a 15-minute period a day where he just goes crazy.
Yeah.
And I think because we do that, that's because they do need a certain amount of stimulation. And so I think since we do that, that's why he does have his times where he'll independently just go and play. I mean, even when Ken's home, sometimes he'll just get down and go to his room and chew on a block for 35 minutes, and then just come strutting back out like, hey, man, where's my scrub daddy?
Yeah.
But would he? He probably would. They get, there's just this balance with cockatoos where you have to just really watch it. And my son, he's got my son a couple times, and my son has really worked with him to do step up and step down. Like he will sometimes, when my husband's here, say like, "Can I go to the room and get him and bring him to you?" And he'll have him step up and step back down to him. So yeah, but he doesn't want to come to me anyway. And when he does, it's trickery because I've fallen for it before. He actually
Trickery.
he nipped my husband tonight, but he got scared. He was getting something out of his cage, and the light was already off. So he knew something came into the cage, but he didn't know what it was, and he nipped his
Oh,
finger. Yeah,
oh.
yeah,
Yeah, it's hard. Ani needs to vent his excitement.
mm,
So we encourage that. But at the same time, if he gets too excited too long, that's when he really bites
yeah.
and gets aggressive. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like really walking a fine line between that. Because I,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hush them, keep them quiet all the time because they have too much emotional energy. They have to let it out.
Yes, yeah, they do. And I try to bring that up occasionally because a lot of these videos when we're doing music class and Buster's doing his hoppity hops and going on and on, um, he needs that. He needs that stimulation. He needs that time. But then there's a time all of a sudden where it's just like we have to shut it down. Buster, this is it. It's time to chill. And he even at time he'll listen to either get on his shoulder. He likes to sit in Ken's lap and he'll get down and sit
Um,
in Ken's lap, and then we chill. But yeah, it's important. And I realized something actually Kondo had said to me during the podcast that like never underestimate Buster like doing the rags and the scrub daddies and the toys. And I was cleaning up in the kitchen this morning and I rearranged his toys and I got more of his scrub daddies in view. And he went over and got a scrub daddy in a rag and was pushing around on the floor. And it really kind of made me think like, oh, he thinks he's cleaning.
yeah.
I always used to joke with him about doing chores and things like that. Like I would fold the towels and he would take one and he would toss it. And I would be like, I would have this big laundry basket full of towels folded and he had three or four tossed on the floor. To him, he was working. Um,
Yeah.
but when he did
Tika
this
did.
morning condo, I thought of you because I remember you telling me that, and I was like, now I get what he means now. These are his, and that's his work too. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why he likes all these strange items like scrub brushes and scrub daddies. I hate to clean, so I don't know what's up with that, but
Tika
but
did
yeah,
chores with me. She did, as I was folding laundry, I put her up on the dresser and she would go through all the socks and she'd drip one sock after another And like you said, she thought she was working, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. Yep. That's his work, and he talks about work a lot. Um,
They need jobs.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're like
for real.
yeah, like certain dogs are like that. Like um, I just my gosh, I drew a blank. But there are a lot of dogs that actually you have to give them a job, or else they go insane and they'll become mean. Um, yeah.
There are some horses, they have that kinda
Yes, they
nature
do.
where they need to work.
Mhm. Clydesdales, they're a working horse. We had a Clydesdale when I was growing up, mixed with an Appaloosa. That was my dad's favorite, horse, and, she was quite mean, and I think it was because she didn't have a job, you know?
Yeah.
I think she had enough of the Clydesdale in her that, it wasn't good.
I
So,
had
yeah.
a high drive Morgan, and so I had to work her out every day, and she just wasn't into the casual, let's go trail riding thing. She really wanted to work out and get her energy out and feel like she's doing something,
Mhm.
constructive. And
Yeah. German Shepherd is what I was trying to say. German Shepherds need a job. Um, Great Pyrenees, all those they need all of that. Yeah. Oh, Buster has destroyed a lot of stuff. He has cockachooed a lot. Yeah,
cockatude.
cockachooed. That's what I always call it. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, Amanda. The same things. These would go really with all birds. Like I said, there's some debate about tomatoes, but everything I've researched, cooked tomatoes are fine for cockatoos. Percy, I don't know about, but I don't really have to worry about that because it's not something I would ever even offer him, or won't eat hardly anything. So,
Yeah,
um,
all the dangers we discussed apply to all birds, and
mhm,
all this scam situations and things apply to all birds.
yes, yeah, definitely. Um, so, well, it's about quarter till nine, so
Okay.
I better wrap it up. Um, yeah. So, oh, is there some spammers? Oh well. Hey guys, thanks for being here. Next week, Wednesday. I don't know the date. I want to say the 5th or the 6th. We'll put it on our channels, but we'll be on Rebecca's channel. Um, and we don't know what we're talking about yet,
No, we never do.
but we'll
Yeah,
figure it out, and
that's
we'll
why
say
it's wing it
cheers.
out.
That's right.
Where's your
We're
drink?
just winging it.
Where's your drink?
Yeah.
Where's
But
your drink?
so,
Cheers.
thanks everybody for being here. We had a good time. We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week. I'll see you tomorrow on my channel live at 11.
Okay.
All right.
Bye
Bye, guys.
bye.